And I've got a couple of friends that are in the IT sector as well. But I mean, I know what I could call a common sense about IT. So following up on the question Cyrus just asked, I can see a lot of people here having PCs and typing. I probably think they're more into the topic already. So I'm not going to do a lot of talking here. I would like to engage a sort of discussion or debate, I would say. And maybe before we go on, I would like anyone, a volunteer who can talk about the work he's doing and how he can relate the work he's doing to the question that I've been asked. Any volunteer, anyone in the, yeah, sure. Yep, just your name and what you're doing and how do you relate it to the development of the country in general and many opinion as a person.
I'm called Rukundo Sebasole Erika.
Okay.
Initiative.
Can you turn out the volume, please? Yes, speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I started an organization called Bright Future Cornerstone. Actually, I started it online on Facebook, and we are having 800.
A sort of discussion of debate, I would say, and maybe. Okay, go on.
Yeah, and we are having 800 members online. We have a website. Actually, trying to respond to how we can develop our country through ICT. We can start with education. When you want to develop your country or these developing countries, we would start with education. Like if I compare, for example, Rwanda and Germany, Germany don't have natural resources, but Rwanda also don't have maps, but we have human resources. So if we do our best and empower young people and the population in the area of education, we can develop. But coming up on the knowledge economy, I can see that ICT can be one of the tools we can use to develop our country, especially in that area of education. We can start with e-learning. We can also develop these technology sciences, and so that's.
Thank you very much. Any other person who wants to talk about the work you've been doing and I mean, what's his vision in the work you've been doing, linking to the question that was asked? I can see a lot of people in the crowd. I mean, here we're youth, so let's behave as young people, okay? Let's just not sit down and have you had lunch? I'm just asking, or so let me hear any other person who wants to share his opinion or opinion. Anyone? Should I start pinpointing people here? Because you seem so shy. Tick tock. Anyone? Oh my God. Oh, you sure?
Thank you. My name is Kibogora. I run a web startup. So I think has much to offer in Africa because it's still growing, and the internet is a tool behind the technology. And we're hoping that in some years to come, there are so many opportunities behind it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, talking on what I've been talking about just a couple of days ago, sometimes there's this thing in Kinyarwanda that goes on, Wamba ichirezi ntamenya ko kera. So I don't know how to translate that in English, but let me just explain it a little bit. Is when you meet some other young people in the region, they keep telling us how lucky we are to have all these infrastructures and how cheap it is, on your phone, everywhere. Now we're having a free Wi-Fi in town, So I've been wondering, because I'm not an IT person as I say, but at least there's this connection, having the news reading on the websites, reading a lot of stuff happening here and there, and trying to make good use of that, and also a lot of people developing apps. The question here is, you might not even have a specific work that you're working on, but how do you think we as Rwandans, we're really taking good, we're making good use of that infrastructure that we've had that is in place already. And is there anything you think should, well, we have UNDP, ICT here. So, I mean, what's your opinion on that? We have the infrastructure in place. We're here. People have been talking about e-learning and all that. What do you think? Do we have all we've got to move on, or we still have some issue we need to fix? What do you think? Anyone? I mean, well, we have only two people talk. I need some other people. Girls, come on, gender. I mean, we're in Rwanda here.
My name is Serge Danson.
Okay.
I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm a developer. I've been reading on RDB website. Agriculture is one of the sector which increase around the economy, GDP. So I think to increase the education of the farmers in Rwanda, that could be a very good thing to do in Rwanda. By using ICT, mobile applications, we can teach these farmers this way.
That's a good point. Now, before we wrap up this session, we would like to hear from a girl. What do you think? I mean, we've only had boys talking. Girls in the room. Hello. Yeah, we have one in the back.
Thank you. I just got an idea from what you just said about the agriculture.
Would you mind saying your name,
Oh,
please?
sorry.
Yeah.
My name is Amy.
Yep.
I'm coming from the National Political Party Forum.
Okay.
Yeah, we can use ICT or IT itself in the value chain in agriculture to increase and to create jobs also. I think IT can be in this value chain from the first farmer to the industry and up to the end user or end buyer.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So I think with that, I can just wrap this up. Thank you very much for this short time.
Thank you very much, Steve. Hand of applause to Steve. Okay, so this is how we do it. This is what we call empowerment. What I did just to Steve. You single out someone, you ask him to take the floor, the discussions. I'll give you just small tips. Public is not necessarily or very much how much you give facts, but how do you draw the attention of your audience? This is how you've been holding the microphone. Morning, someone from Ukraine, they have been giving us innovations, thinking, why did I pose this question? How can you develop Rwanda through IT? I just want to hear from you. Students, we need really to grasp whatever they have been talking about. Don't hear words from other people. What do they tell you? What thing? I expect how you want to do it, or any assistance. So since you're seated here again, to wrap up your presentation about how can you do it, how can you go about it. It's like we are trying to forget what we learned in the morning. I wanted to hear. I think I'll do A, B, C, D, Rwanda, not in general. You yourself. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, dear friends and colleagues. That's more for. I feel that I've been taking the floor too much, a little bit today. Yeah, but if we talk about some of the things that we would want to remember if we are to innovate, is first of all, think about who you're doing this for. Embed yourself with those people, with those networks, talk to those people, reach out to them. There was a question today, would we be able to actually go and talk to the people who we are going to be working for? It's a perfect question to ask. Is to try, reach out to them, listen to them, put on their shoes, and see what their problems are. See what gets them unhappy, see what gets them annoyed, see what gets them happy, see what they would like to change. That is something that probably would be the best starting point. As for development of ideas, use your friends, colleagues, relatives, anybody, any public events to try and bounce your ideas and say, you know what, I have an idea, how about to get your opinion? But always remember that this is your idea and that ultimately you will be responsible for driving it to success. You will be responsible for making it happen, obviously with inputs from other people. The other thing that I didn't mention this morning is the tension and the problem of being too in love with your prototype. That's a thing that I'd like to share from my own personal experience. It's very hard whenever you have thought of something, whenever you have an idea, whenever you have a product, you tend to get in love with it because you've invested your time, you've invested your forces, you've bothered everybody with what do you think about it, what do you think about it. So you're really in love with what you have created. The problem is here that at a certain point of time, you fail to listen to what people tell you, saying, I think it's great, but, this second part is, I think it's great. Yeah, that's good. That's my personal problem. So what I would probably say is that it's important to still let your idea go, no matter how much time you've invested into it, no matter how much energy you have developed to make it happen. Just try to let it go and listen to feedback, because and it's hard. It's extremely hard because this is yours. This is what you've been working with. So I guess those would be some of the reflections. But I would really like to hear from you to see if there are any other ideas or maybe considerations that you would like to share or hear more about, or maybe there are some additional ideas also for Trolls police app that we were talking about in the morning. Maybe you considered that as well. So at that I give the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think actually what I wanted is to get what we learned in the morning about the tips about successful innovations. That is what I can say. But in life, you need to have a vision. And what I want to achieve, it may be different from what he wants to achieve. But I may get ideas, good ideas from him. Okay, let me now bring, okay. So I think our leaders are soon coming here. And we are young people, some of us, we are students. What do you think it's a major challenge? What are the challenges that you do face in your IT work? You are students. However much you are a student, there is what you hear outside to people in the field or those who are in the field? What do you see as a challenge as an IT person?
As an IT person, when I was talking with the youth,
Okay. We are leaders of today and tomorrow. You need to speak boldly and everyone should hear what
thanks. When I'm talking with other developers, young developers, IT young developers, the problem they face every day, you know that online there are services that are sold online using credit card. You can buy a service, backend services, different services by Google, Microsoft, but the young people can't get access to credit cards to buy these things. This is a major problem that we live in every day life. You understand?
Okay, another person? Yes. Ladies in Rwanda, I think. Everyone has to
Thank you.
participate, yes.
I think the major problem is the lack of information. Actually, I mean this by saying sometimes we do, as in we develop according on what we think, but not according to what they think or what they want. That's caused by not getting the clear information. Sometimes there's some information are credential. You can't even access that information when you want to do something. So, thank you.
Okay, another person?
Another problem that the ICT industry that face is about
Hello, I wish there is someone, one of the organizers, to hear what the young people are talking as the challenges they meet, because I think this program is under even DP and other institutions. So I think what they are airing out, there should be a team at least to hear what the young people are talking as their challenges.
I'm called Emil Nonzima. The challenge is about the market. Here in Rwanda, the market is limited. It's the reason why you can work, you can didn't found the market.
Okay. Let me change it to like this now. I'm speaking in 2 seconds. Tubona ibibazo tukabishakira ibisubizo. What do you think it's needed to be so that we access market? So that, what do you think can be a solution to the challenges you've been talking about? Steve?
Thank you very much. This is my opinion. I hope I share it with some people here. Is that one of the challenges, and I'm going to talk about one challenge and then the solution. One of the challenges I think most young people in Rwanda are facing is that sometimes just knowing to write codes, some people think that's enough to get out there at the market and get people buying your product. You know, reading and then getting information, you know, like people know how to build the need that is on at the market. So now the solution that I would say here is, I mean, it's been, the government been doing that for sometimes now. These incubators being put in place, and then these people meeting mentors, you know, meeting some people that have been in the field, you know, doing what they think they want to do, and then telling them some of the experience they've acquired and how, you know, how you can, you know, just first learn and then know you're really equipped to now hit the market and then do what you have to do. Otherwise, I think all the other stuff, you know, markets, you know, information, money, all that, once you're perfectly, then you can easily deal with these challenges as they come one by one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Just as a follow-up question, I've heard that you have several innovation labs, right? I mean, this is one of them. Do you think that they might help address the issues of mentorship? I don't know how many how many of those you have, because it is an interesting area which we also see developing very rapidly, but they are of different quality, those labs, because some of them are very business oriented. Say, we only want we only want the developers who can give us a good application, which we can then help sell on the market. The others are, no, we are about mentoring. We want to build the people's skills, and we don't care about whether they sell their app or not. I mean, what is the market in terms of labs here? And do you think it is at all helpful for addressing those issues? Thank you.
Well, just to answer in that question, so far this is the second one after KLab, the one that I know. And mentorship can be seen in different perspectives because knowing how to code, I might not know the business aspect of what I want to do, the legal aspect of what I want to do. Mentorship is seen from all of these different angles, telling me I have a product, how can I get it to the market? How can I connect with the customers? And how can I not interfere with different legal in place so that this whole system can work in a very smooth way and I getting what I want and them getting what they want. So I think this is one of the a good step ahead of it. And also, I would say that they're not really sufficient because we only have two in Kigali, and we have a lot of people spread all around the country. They all need access to this kind of infrastructure to really be mentored and reach this certain maturity to carry on and move forward.
Okay. If I want other people have not talked, and if you want to speak in Kinyarwanda, it's fine, or French. There will be someone to translate for you. All right. I think our guest of honors are coming. I will just leave you by saying that ignore the youth, destroy them, empower the nation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all your patience. Now that our panelists and the honorees have come, we'd like to we'd like to welcome all of you to the launch of this mobile app challenge. And now we want to go straight into it, and I just want to give a brief overview before we have the introduction from the honorees. Now, imagine, as we get into the mood of this mobile app service delivery, imagine sitting in a road driving in traffic, and then you see a truck running in front of you, overlapping the cars in front of you, and then right behind the truck down there, it is written, if this driver is driving badly, report or write a message to 0724 221122. So that is exactly the same reason why we are here today. The UNDP, the Rwanda Governance Board, and the MyICT have come together to provide a platform where developers and citizens and the government can come together to one platform to address certain issues. If you're in line at the health sector and you're wondering why this line is moving too slowly, you just access that application and you give back your feedback. So we'll hear more about that application, but in the past, the MyICT and the UNDP have held so many competitions to come together. The Girls in ICT, where the winning application was was an agriculture-based, and much later, right, another app rewarded by MyICT. So this application now, what happens to the application to citizens who how do they use this application? So those are the questions that are going to be answered. Now, over the past 3 days, there has been some progress in regard to the application and how to use it, who is eligible to participate in the competition. So we would like to introduce Jean-Paul to give us a brief overview of what has happened the past 3 days.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for this. The first day, as you know, we have seen the governance and ICT and the relationship between the governance and ICT. The second day, we have seen the what and how the RGB can collect data from the people to the board, so that they can develop the report, or using what we can call the data scorecard or the data collection tools. But they have just called us to link those collection of those data by using ICT tools. They called us to develop some applications. Mostly, they just called us to develop the phone apps, because, as you know, there are some computer-based applications, but there are others, phone-based applications. And those applications will just help the public servant or the population to have or to deliver the service. Today, we have just seen how we can involve, we can just enter in a competition by just create those applications with the ideas of innovation. To just enter in this mood, they just told us that to innovate, have first to have an inspiration to inspire. And in that inspiration, we have put that inspiration in, in idea. That idea we have just to implement and link those so that we have the applications to help the users population or the as or no, we are service consumer. To consume this, we have to use the facility, but the mobile facility is and we have facility to develop some applications we will just implement in the end user, the population can just use or can use to have or to request the service. We just UNDP for this phase will help us to develop this application or to enter in this, and we will just work with RG will just provide us some on how the public provide and how people consume those and those two relationship we just to enter or to do the and everyone here to win competition. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Jean Paul. Now, earlier before the session started, we had the same forum, but right after the terms of reference for the wait. If you have any questions, either to the panelists or anyone who is here, the developers, just wait for that time and we'll session. Brought us here, we have the Deputy CEO of the Rwanda government to give us the opening remarks of what they think about this competition.
Honorable and the ICT, Excellency and UNDP distinguished diplomatic delegation here present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Great pleasure to be here with you this afternoon, taking part in one activity most likely to turn out to be a remarkable initiative. I feel privileged and honored to be part of this good initiative. The purpose of launching innovation to provide the quality of service delivery in Rwanda, use of mobile app, is to empower youth, sometimes develop a mobile app, quality service to the public, so enhance service. To note that this initiative stimulates development of Rwanda innovation sector by empowering to innovation programs or it also blends well with the government of Rwanda's development agenda for encouraging innovation, youth empowerment, quality of service delivery, job creation, poverty reduction, and self-reliance. It is in no doubt also in line with the objective of EDPRS2 and Vision 2020, as the government of Rwanda is targeting to become in the region, including ICT. That service delivery is major indicators governance of EDPRS2. As an institution in charge of good governance principles and the monitoring of service delivery, both in the public and the private sector, Rwanda Governance Board is committed to support youth efforts in innovation. At the same time, ensure the quality of service delivery. Hopefully, in the near future, this initiative could be aligned with homegrown initiatives and best practices in our country. Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the competitiveness of developing mobile app for public service delivery is an important factor, helps to select the best out big number of entrants, giving assurance for mobile that will deliver highest quality of public service delivery. This does not mean that those who will not be successful mobile apps, it means that they're among the few best you need or need adjust. By extending my sincere gratitude to this event led by one UN presented here by Dr. Amin Mohamed Mane, the UN representative, and the whole team of UN project. I also extend my sincere gratitude to honorables and the ICT as he is the success of youth who are here competing. This shows commitment towards youth empowerment and to the information technology application that leads to the quality services. A broad achievement of the mobile app depends on affirmation. Government of Rwanda, private sector, and all stakeholders to work together for achieving the best result we want for the present generations. I also extend my sincere gratitude to Tigo Rwanda through its Business Development Center today of public-private partnership, and I believe will play a key role in implementation of this important. I finally extend to my best wishes to all editors and to provide quality mobile app to our citizens. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Dr. Felicien. Now we'd like to introduce the UN Resident Coordinator, Mr. Lamin Male, to tell us more.
Thank you very much, our MC, the Honorable Minister of Youth and ICT, Chief Executive Officer, Rwanda, Chief Secretary, Media High Council, colleagues from one UN system, our dear partner from key colleagues from Ukraine, New York, Baba, and Rwanda. Ladies and gentlemen, of Airway, Moes. For our visitors, that means a good afternoon to everybody. It is indeed a great pleasure and honor for me to be here with you in this official launch of the conclusion of the UNDP Innovative Week, as well as the launching of the mobile apps competition for delivery, as ably explained by the previous speakers. A warm welcome, certainly, to our visiting colleagues, and thanks to all of you for joining us this afternoon. If you are aware by now, in the face of emerging development challenges, you are doing something new. And it's called the Global Campaign Shift. We are focusing on how to apply innovation, specifically utilizing ICT and the opportunities provided by the mobile tech. As it has been explained, this global campaign was launched on Monday, 22nd of September, and it will end tomorrow. And Rwanda, I think, is one of the 3 countries selected in the whole of Africa. And globally, you have the list of the countries which are taking part in the world. There are not so many. It's a selective few. Obviously, for Rwanda, we shouldn't be surprised. Rwanda is now playing a lead role in the application of ICT in finding solutions. And I think here, I would like to take advantage of the opportunity to commend, thank, encourage once again, as I have done in the past, our Minister for ICT and the Youth, who has agreed to be our guest of honor. So I think let's give him a round of applause. Shift aims to accelerate innovation for development by connecting innovators and encouraging the country offices of UNDP to experiment with different approaches to development, all in partnership with national authorities. As I have just noted, present here are our colleagues who have come from UNDP Cote d'Ivoire first, and they have come to learn the Rwanda experience, but also to exchange with us. I'm pleased to note that Trolls and a colleague who came from Cote d'Ivoire, I have had the opportunity to work with Trolls before. A very brilliant, hardworking young man. So Trolls, welcome. And we have our colleague from Ukraine who has traveled all the way from Ukraine to share with us the Ukrainian experience. You should also know that Ukraine is pushing on the frontiers, contrary to what you've been hearing of late. I think Ukraine is very much in the news for different reasons, very unfortunate, and we hope that that problem will soon come. They are also playing a lead in the application of ICT to the site for development solutions. So our colleague from Ukraine, you are most welcome. We also have colleagues from New York and the Regional Service Center in Addis to provide technical support all along in this Innovation Week. This is to underscore that UNDP is highly committed to supporting innovative solutions to development challenges. So here in Rwanda, we have found a fertile ground. Where are the colleagues from New York and the Regional Service Center? They are most welcome. Honorable Minister, dear colleagues, since the early 1990s, UNDP has been promoting the use of information and communication technologies to empower people reduce poverty, promote local capacity development, foster social inclusion, and help nurture democratic governance. The exponential growth in the use and expansion of mobile technologies, particularly in developing countries, has brought forward an apparent paradigm shift. Therefore, the potential to offer public information and deliver basic services to billions of people who still live in absolute and relative poverty is real by now. I would particularly start by thanking again the Honorable Minister of Youth and ICT for the very good cooperation that he has established between the ministry and through him the government and the One UN family here. Last year, the ministry and UNDP launched what is now popularly known as Youth Connect platform that is serving as a channel for youth. ICT players or anyone interested in both sectors to contribute to the country's transformational debate. The platform has a practical, results-oriented format, including interactive, multi-stakeholder panel discussions, partnership announcements, as well as opportunities for participants to showcase their ICT development projects to potential partners and donors. You will recall that this platform was presented last year at an Africa-wide competition in Johannesburg, and we won the first prize for that. So for us, Youth Connect is a practical demonstration that with the will, the commitment, and application of ingenuity, particularly on the part of young people, can produce dramatic results. So this time, we are looking into how to apply in a more focused and activist way the ICT technology in the area of governance, particularly service delivery. And I think this is well placed. As you know, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, public service delivery has been identified by the leadership in the country within the context of both Vision 2020 as well as the country's medium-term economic development and poverty reduction strategy for further improvement. This is again, as far as we are concerned, a reflection of the strong commitment of the leadership of this country to constantly address the basic needs of the population. And in the RGB's Citizen Satisfaction Survey, service delivery was rated as 70.4%. Not very bad, but not the best. So there is room for improvement, and we do the leadership of Rwanda's determination to quickly attain the desired improvements and satisfaction in this area. Certainly, as you have heard, and as we will see over the next few months, the application of the mobile technology will make an important contribution to the realization of that objective. So let me end by commending again the government and the minister, as well as RGB, which is also doing important pioneering work in the area of the deepening of democracy and promotion of good governance. We shouldn't also forget to thank Tigo for their very strong partnership and willingness to always partner with us. So let's make it a good and successful story. Let's build with our youth, for a sustainable future. Thank you for your kind attention. Merci, Murakoze Chane. Thank you.
Murakoze nawe, Mr. Lamin. The last time we had Mr. Lamin Mane and the Honorable Minister for ICT, you were in that trailer for the Youth Connect acting. Acting. It wasn't just scripted, acting. So now we've mentioned the Youth Connect, and we want to understand how the Youth Connect experience has helped us. I don't know, some of you are developers, so you understand what the Youth Connect is. But for all of you who've not known or heard about the Youth Connect, we have someone from Youth Connect to tell us, Emmanuel, to tell us more about how the experience has been and how it has helped him and his team to develop.
Thank you, MC, Honorable Minister, Excellency, UN resident coordinator and UNDP representative, CEO of RDP, August Assembly. This is honor for me to stand in front of you, telling you about Youth Connect. Some people knows it, but I'm happy to tell those who do not know it what Youth Connect is about. First of all, I'm going to start with by talking about youth population in Rwanda, where we have, basing on 2012 census, where we have a population of about 10 million and 500 people, where 48% are men, and about 52 are women. So among the population of 10 million, 40% are youth. Youth, when we talk about youth here, we are talking about people with age between 14 and 55 years old. We have talked about Youth Connect, and most of the most objective of Youth Connect is helping young people to find opportunity to create their own jobs. So before talking about this, we need to know the status of unemployment here, employment status in Rwanda. For example, we have 60% of youth population employed, 3% unemployed, and 37% young who are inactive. Youth in Rwanda have challenges. 60% of youth work less than 35 hours per week. There is a mismatch of labor market demands and skills supply. We can also identify limited harmonization of employment strategies across all sectors, but also there is an issue on access to finance. So there have been some solutions have been identified. Among them is Youth Connect. The vision is having youth, the vision is youth innovation at the heart of national transformation, where objective is to be a platform. Youth Connect objectives to be a platform that allow young Rwandan youth to showcase their potential and provide their contribution towards the national building. There are various strategies, but I mentioned 3 there. First of all, we connect, we innovate, and we transform. And then there are, Youth Connect have various components. Among them, there is Youth Connect Convention, started in 2012, Youth Connect Hangout, Youth Connect Month, Youth Connect Dialogue. Those are some, among other components of Youth Connect. Youth Connect Hangout started in 2013, is a virtual platform aiming at connect innovative youth with the leaders from the public, private sector, financial sector, civil society to forge new partnership that provide opportunity for unemployed youth and promote this is done through sharing information on websites, social media, Facebook, YouTube, for example, Google Plus, Twitter, and a bi-weekly Youth Connect Hangout. Youth Connect Hangout is a part of the big Youth Connect program where we have a mentorship program, job fair, national dialogue, internship programs, online debates, connecting youth with the experts through social media, TV program showcasing young entrepreneurs, year-long scholarship in business incubator centers, business training with business plan competition and seed funding. There are major achievements among others. The first one was mentioned by Excellency, the one UN resident coordinator. It's a UNDP innovation got by UNDP through innovation award got by UNDP when he presented Youth Connect program to the competition in South Africa. The other is Motorola mobile application for Human Development Challenge, where it was announced, launched through Youth Connect Hangout, and award was given using winners were go through this platform, and winners were presented using Youth Connect Hangout. There have been other sessions like the one which reflected on International Peace Day, but also mobilizing youth to be part of 20th genocide commemoration here in Rwanda, among others. There are many Youth Connect stakeholders, but the main one that I'm going to mention are there on the screen. The initiative started in December 2012 by MyICT and was fully supported by one UN family through UNDP Rwanda, and other partners joined, among whom we can mention Tigo, African Digital Media Academy, Hehe Limited, Dut Rwanda, and TechnoServe. In short, this is what we call Youth Connect Hangout, but whoever wish to know more about Youth Connect Hangout can contact the Ministry of Youth and ICT and our partners, mostly UNDP. You can get more information. This is a platform for opportunity for our young generation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you for that as well. Now, when we were back there, there was a question that was asked by one of the people attending, and they asked, why has this application taken so long to be implemented in Rwanda? Because we have the countries that are around have a system where you give feedback immediately from the clients, from the citizens to the government. But so we are saying that this is such a timely application to come to Rwanda. And we have the UNDP Ukraine CEO to tell us more about the experience of the presentation on the experience. Yeah. Mr. Maxime.
Thank you, dear colleagues. Your Excellencies, thank you so much. Before I very briefly highlight some of the experiences that we have had with Ukraine, I'd like to thank you very much for a very warm welcome and say that, in fact, Rwanda and Ukraine have much more in common than just two colors of the flag. Our flag is blue and yellow. I can see that we share at least two of those. We also share a lot of the challenges and the things that you have gone through, we are going through right now, unfortunately, some of them. So we wanted to mention that we're here also to learn from you. And whenever the RGB was presenting the work that it is doing on citizen report card, on the governance indicators, this is really amazing work, which we believe we could learn from. So we are very eager to learn more on that, on the cooperation between the One UN office and RGB and the Ministry of Youth and ICT, how this all will work out. We'll definitely be following that, and we hope that we can also learn from you in how you're addressing all those challenges. But other than that, we prepared a very brief glimpse of an mobile application contest and the mobile application result that we did in one of the cities of Ukraine, together with the city council and UNDP Ukraine over the years, and what are some of the results that we have seen happening for that. So the city that we're talking about is a rather small one. It's 245,000. It's located in the west of the country, one of the administrative centers. And it's rather vibrant, both in terms of its tourist attractions and in terms of the speed of light. So it positions itself as a very vibrant